Good afternoon, folks. It's 16:11 on the 28th day, second month, 2022. This is Rob D coming to you from Liverpool, England. I'm going to flip over and see if this is running for a moment. This is starting. I'm just going to keep going for a moment. Yeah, I've been having a little bit of trouble. Right, here it is. Okay, man-made weather, you have a lot of factors that you would have to consider. You have to consider flow, stuff coming from. What directions do things naturally move in this hemisphere? You know, low pressure will naturally move that. It's not super duper low. What does it do? What is this one going to do? This high pressure is flowing in the opposite direction. How is this going to influence that? How is that going to influence this? Right? I take a lot of factors in mind when I disagree with official forecasts like I did the other day. The official forecast wasn't telling you about floods that I clearly seen as possible. Now, from looking at this setup here, I clearly see your weather is pretty much going to be controlled by a storm over here. It'll pretty much dissipate this low. Its circulation, for all intents and purposes, is gone right now. Right? When you look down here, the only bit of low that's turning here is just over here near Brisbane. And very often these peninsulas will cause that as the flow of air here meets a flow to the west here. It just has to turn things. Look at this coming up the mountains here. The direction this turns in is telling me that that's a higher pressure than that. And if I look here, it is. Now you have two lows again. One's here and one's here. And these are going to, again, fight each other for dominance of the center of the low and the flows. But because this one is here as well, these two are going to fight. It'll tend to drag the weather here. It'll stall stuff here. It'll cause a ridge here. And you can kind of see that here. Well, what's this here called? Marimba, where these two winds are meeting. Is kind of evidence of that. There's a lot of factors. And you can use devices like NEXRADs, HARPs, eSCAT radars, and other EMF devices to cause these flows to occur here. You know, the biggest one here we all talk about is Holt Base. But if you go up near Port Hedland and these areas up here, they have their own devices to do this. The ionospheric heaters and things like that, they're called. And later on I'll get into some of the programs that allow the methods of spraying to happen. Hopefully tomorrow with Paul Seals I will make a video with him and show him some of the dynamics. I'm not going to swear either, I promised. So there you go, Paul. We'll get that tomorrow sometimes. These isobars ain't that far apart. That's what these lines are known as, the lines of equal pressure. Right, so this on this one here, it's every 2. And Lord Howe Island also has devices. I have it set up now for wind. Right, I can go to rain. I just wanted to see where the flow was, and if I go to rain, it's showing me where the pockets of moisture are. It looks like right on schedule. The waterfalls of Durango and whatever that's called up there near Costa is going to be flowing. This is not a little bit of rain. This dangerous lightning. Let's see if I can get. I could pull up webcams, but I'm not. I'll do that some other time. It's not a little bit of rain falling. And that's what that's telling me, and all this is showing me extremely heavy lightning. It's a very, very, very dangerous storm. Yep, I did call that out too. Oh, those poor folks. So right, I'm going to run the weather plan for you. That's what this is going to be called. And I'm going to show you how they're going to work this storm around this Sydney. And it's going to involve all those things I showed you. Right, this is going to have to come change the flow. This is going to have to form and come out here and then slingshot some over. And a dual move I call the gear. It just sits and spins in place. Nothing can go north of it. Anything there gets taken into it. And the express wheel takes its moisture inland. All the way from here. So I do have lots of map things I use sometimes. And it just slings it in. So for all intents and purposes, that other storm is pretty much just... Well, it's only about, if atmospheric pressure is at 1014 they call it, or 13.7 it used to be on this scale, then that's just only 13 bar up. It's not much. Well, a bar would be the 14. So it's not much. It's not a huge difference. It's not a huge pressure suction. When I see like 950, 960, that's a raging cyclone. And this just doesn't have low enough pressures to do that. But you see how it's working that storm in from out here? This is where they're going to spray the stuff that comes here. And the chem bombs will sustain it. And I'm going to show you chem bomb deployments over the Darwin area. Has the best images of it today. And it's going on simultaneously along here. As the water from here goes through that catchment and heads towards Sydney, the timing of this mass of water with that mass of water meeting it is going to be exactly timed to flood out stuff up here. These mountains have the ability to put water in different directions depending on the divide line. Right? You people up there know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just giving you a basic of weather here, and then I'm going to show you. This is your weather plan. This is Tuesday at 2300 hours. Yeah, not cool, which is like your time is, it says it down in this corner. This app I'm using here is called windy.com, but you kind of do have to know how to use it. See how that's stalled along the coast? Here? It has to. It's kicking its moisture down. It's run into a barrier here. It cannot go any further inland. There's not enough momentum to bring it north because of these prevailing winds moving south. As you head in towards your fall and winter, the winds tend to change. They'll tend to come off. So there's a big battle going on right now with cloud dynamics and heat and moisture. Yep, that just is stalled. And all the main stuff's off coast. And boy, are you going to have some lightning. So I'm just letting this roll for you. But you see how that just sits in place? Nothing can go above it. Yep, they're still running their storms on the coast, but none of this is that huge flooded Brisbane event like I predicted. None of it. The ones coming across here, yeah, very dangerous lightning now coming across from, they plan to do that, the Melbourne shuffle up into Sydney. It's a move I see very often. And it always involves the flow around Tasmania. Less flow here, more flow here, away she goes. Make it hot or cold to get it to circulate this way or this way, depending upon what you want. Now it looks like that Vanuatu storm's walking down on Saturday, right into the line to fire Sydney. They're making sure you don't go down there for the weekend to express your opinions of anything, but also they're not getting anybody going shopping either. Now here you go. Key Day weekend, right? You ain't going out protesting along this coastline this weekend because they're going to get you again. And none of it's that cyclone. I clearly showed that. The whole thing. Right on up to right on down. Depending on which time of day. I'm going to just do the backwards bit. See that? This is the weather plan. They plan to do this to you. You can't tell me this just happened naturally as some weather bomb when I'm showing you what a weather bomb is. You want to see what weather bombs are? Here, look here. I'll show you a weather bomb. Now, this is go in all sorts of crazy directions of flow, right? A circulation should be going around. Would you agree with that? Right? In this hemisphere, a cyclone goes like this. So, as you can see here, something's trucking along and fizzing out something into the atmosphere. Boom, 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 boom. These ain't just a cloud moving out. This is sustained by geoengineering methods. Look up scope and then the letter X and the word Harvard. You'll see the chem bomb program. Yeah, Scope X. They got $25 million, thank you Donald Trump, to do this. Yeah, this is not a hero guy does. Boom, but I've been reporting chem bombs for years. You've had some deployments here. Boom, 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 streamering off. Not the round tropic clouds we're used to seeing. This is geoengineering. This is man-made clouds. This is a weather bomb. How many directions do you have to use to sustain this circular look on the radar that makes people see the type of storms they used to get? I'm going to move it along the old-fashioned way. Use my cursor. Look at this mess. Look at the flow. This should just be going around in a circle. You shouldn't have squares inside this at all. This is a view of from right now. Here's the timestamp, 28th of February, 2022, at 0200. They're dropping deuces on you on the deuce here. A whole lot of twos there. I didn't plan it being like that. And I'll let it flow now. See it boiling? Something is sitting in place, just nucleating that cloud over and over in a hexagonal shape until it merges with the other. Look at this one over here, this big square coming out. Man-made weather. Now I'm going to show you where you are. This should come in. Here's where you are. Welcome to Australia. You were all the way on the other side. It's not behaving today. Just not. So I'm going to refresh this. Now I'm going to go over here to your the sat view and show you what we were just looking at. This is where we were on that map. Here's that square farm I just showed you. That's not a naturally occurring cloud formation. This is a weather bomb being done by your government on you to control you, to do whatever for these reasons. But my main reason is because we let them do this. We let them think we should control the weather and over these oceans. We let them think that we should dare to be the how dare yous of the world. Well, this square here is not a round cloud. They didn't airbrush that out enough with those little lines so that this cannot be seen. This obscene scene going on in the high clouds over the top of us needs to be confronted by a mob scene, I think, sometimes. Where's the mob? Rectangles out over your ocean. Boom, boom, plumes over here to the left. I'm not going to swear. I'm going to rein that in. Chem bombs here over Ashmore and Carter Islands. Something came along in a line and deployed something that's catalyzing clouds. It's making clouds in the atmosphere. Evenly spaced plumes. That's not round. Square form storms over Australia. I kind of showed you your weather plan for here. And I will give a more in-depth forecast tomorrow. Because it looks like you got a little bit of a break. But all this chem's coming top of you. This image right here. It's all over the top and you're falling out and you're breathing it. It's probably you're feeling headache or maybe you got no energy, sore throat. Maybe you're getting nosebleeds from what they'll call chaff. Right, well, what they call chaff, I call nanoparticles. And they have advertised as nanoparticles. Go read into Scope X. I'll do a presentation on that at some time. This area here is of great concern because when the storm comes in the direction, it's going to funnel water in. So this area here is going to be greatly affected within the next 36 to 48 hours. Yeah, maybe even a little bit sooner if some of this energy wears off enough for the storm to take over, because that's electromagnetic frequency. Energy pulses here. Big line of chem on the edge here with its magnetic particulates showing their telltale actions they always do as they try to seek ground. And they can ground through you. Trust me. Look at this field of energy out here. This interference pattern. That's not a naturally occurring cloud formation on a day when space weather says we haven't had an event that could do that. Okay, I did bring that up. We have to look at the space weather, and it just did not say this is conducive. You know what this is conducive to? Making you feel sick. It's another con being sprayed over the top of you. Just another con. This is not a natural weather bomb. They have chem bombed you, Australia. You have been chem bombed. Now if this doesn't run, because lately they're not showing my coast. Aha! Success. I'm persistent. Alright, let's see if we can catch that mass of crap that's over the ocean. Alright, let it load. I'm going to do my best. While it's loading, I want to see what the accumulation is going to be over the next 12 hours. Because that's the most important one. That 12-hour stat will show you where the big rains hit over the next 12 hours. It's Lismore, you ain't out of the woods. Over the next 24 hours, that is moving slightly south. This whole river will be, Ballina, you're fucked, get out. Yeah, definitely. If you're in Ballina, get out. That stuff coming down river isn't over yet. You add up with the last 24 hours rain, it was bad. Now over the next 24 hours, you see it's kind of like a break. As they bring it out to sea and back in, the heavy's going to come in from this direction. Let's see what we got. I'm going to zoom back a bit. This is the weather plan of the tendril of moisture is definitely coming in towards Sydney. See it? You guys are going to cop it. This is man-made, and we got to say no to these Paris Accords in such a way that our consent is heard as not being given. You poor folks, Gosford and all that. Oh my. Right, this is very lowering, but I think I've just given you a basic forecast. Now let's see what we can do here. Alright, chem bombs. I'm going to turn some of these names off because it's a bit of a distraction. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Something's deploying here. Look at this circle with this little dot. And some things are fizzing out. Let's see what we can do here. Well, keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on the prize. It was a brief moment. It was square. This is what I do. I frame by frame. EMF field there. Another one deployment here, here, here. Wow, look at that. Look at this sudden nucleations here. Boom, 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 boom. Just adding catalyst into the atmosphere to keep a cloud nucleation and storm dynamics going. Keep the convections how they want. That's how I'm doing it. And what I'm going to do now, because I was requested, is I'm going to now give you links to what I've been using. Let's see, where are my comment sections? And then I'm going to wrap this video up. Here's some sources for you for information. That's the sat view. This is the world view. Okay, this is what I'm using. Anybody can, and please do. Sorry, that's the long link. Live with it. And here's windy takes getting used to, and it uses a lot of processor up, so you'll be going slow. It's a fun one to use, but I often disagree with their forecasts, like I just did. Okay, so you guys stay safe. Know that weather is man-made. Now I'll go back to this for a moment because I enjoy doing it. I love looking at our planet. I don't enjoy seeing this going on. And one day I will turn this on and I will not see this going on. And if I don't have the hope for that, then I have no hope for all of us. And I'm not going to try to explain how a pulse from an electromagnetic frequency device will interfere with the image like you're going to see go on. I know you've been hit with a pulse because I can see it going by. And we can see what time it happened. Geoengineering and man-made weather suck. Don't suck. Be the big love. Peace.